At first, it looked like a cluster of fossilized bones discovered in Germany, but a Brandon paleontologist discovered that's not all it was. It was actually a pile of puke from a prehistoric land creature who vomited about 290 million years ago. Telling us more about this discovery is Brandon University Assistant Professor of Biology, Mark MacDougall. Good morning, Mark.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about how this fossil was discovered exactly and where.
So this is a fossil from central Germany. So it's from a fossil site that we've been working on there. I've been working on there with colleagues from Germany and elsewhere in Europe. It's called the Bromacher locality, and we've been actively doing digs there for the last several years. And this was one of the fossils that we discovered there.
And when you first saw it, what was your first thought, your first impression of it?
So when you first see this, you don't usually, when we first find a fossil, we only see a little bit of the bone sticking out. So it's not usually immediately obvious what it might be. There might be a few identifiable features, but we didn't know initially that this was vomit until we started taking a closer look at it.
And when you did take a closer look, what were you examining and what were you finding exactly?
So we looked at the orientation of the bones. The bones in this fossil have a very odd orientation. They're all aligned with each other, so they're all found in the same orientation, which is unusual because usually you would affect if the bones, you would expect them to be a bit scattered, to not really have any ordered pattern to them. But we weren't seeing that. And we also looked at like a chemical analysis of the elements that were in the surrounding rock. And those elements are what we would interpret to be present in something like fossil vomit. So all of these factors together, these different lines of evidence, suggest that this is likely fossil vomit.
And that fossilized vomit, what did it tell you exactly?
So it tells us what this animal, so we interpret this as being part of the vomit of a larger predator, what we call an apex predator. So this would have been like the top of the food chain at this ecosystem. So it's showing us what that animal was actually eating, and it's direct evidence of that, which is very rare to find in the fossil record. So we have direct evidence of, and one of the things I did was going through and identifying what these bones belonged to as best as I was able to. So we know that there was at least 3 different animals in here from this fossil locality that were being eaten by this larger apex predator.
So with this creature, this prehistoric creature, does it tell you anything, this vomit, on what it could have been exactly?
There's only a few possible candidates. There's only a few animals that we know from this this fossil ecosystem that would have been large enough to have the animals that we're finding in the vomit. There's only a few animals that would be big enough to eat them. The likely candidate is an early mammal ancestor called Dimetrodon. It's often mistaken for a dinosaur, but it's much older, and it has a large sail on its back. So many people might be familiar with that. It's one of the more famous of these early vertebrates from this time period.
Is it too hard to tell whether this animal was sick or if it ate too much? What would have made it sick like that?
It's likely that it just had an upset stomach from eating too much. Bones are very difficult to digest, so many animals will vomit up those bones. We see that in things like modern owls. Their owl pellets are the bones of the animals that they can't digest. It's probably a similar thing. So this animal likely just had an upset stomach because of all these bones that were sitting in its stomach, and it vomited them up.
It's fascinating. Mark, thank you so much for sharing this with us. We appreciate your time today.